Her Worship the Mayor.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if I can just remind you before we start that this evening's proceedings are going to be webcast. So can I please ask everybody to turn off their mobile phones so that that doesn't interfere with the sound system? Can I remind everybody please to talk only through the Mayor. If you want to speak, you'll need to indicate to speak and then the Mayor will call you because if your microphone is not on, then you won't be heard in the chamber. And can I remind those sitting in the public gallery that by sitting there you consent to be filmed and broadcast. Thank you.
Right, we'll go to item 1 on the agenda. Apologies for absence. Item number 2, declarations of interest. And can I draw your attention to A and B, please? Right, so we'll go on to the agenda. Minutes of previous meetings. Item number 3, minutes of meeting Tuesday the 5th of April, scrutiny social services.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Any questions? Comments? Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you very much. Item number 4, minutes of meeting Tuesday the 5th of April, scrutiny, regeneration, planning and countryside.
Moved.
Thank you. Can I have a seconder, please?
Second.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you very much. Item number 5, minutes of meeting Wednesday the 6th of April of Cabinet.
Yes, move, Madam Mayor.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please?
Councillor Alan Jones, please. There you go. Thank you.
That's carried, thank you. Item number 6, minutes of meeting Monday the 11th of April, scrutiny, neighbourhood services and public protection.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 7, minutes of meeting Tuesday the 20th of April, scrutiny, governance, performance, business change and corporate services. Thank you.
Second.
Put it to the vote then, please. That's carried, thank you. Minutes of meeting Wednesday the 13th of April of the Licensing Committee. Can I have someone to move it, please?
I move the Minutes Licence Committee, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 9, minutes of meeting Monday 18th of April, scrutiny, learning and layscape.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Second. Oh.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 10, minutes of meeting Tuesday 19th of April, scrutiny, regeneration, planning and countryside.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 11, minutes of meeting Wednesday the 20th of April of Cabinet.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Move, Madam Mayor.
To the vote, please.
Councillor Harvey-Jones, please.
That's carried, thank you. Item number 13, minutes of meeting Wednesday the 20th of April of Audit Committee.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Seconded.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Minutes of meeting Wednesday the 20th of April of Full Council.
Yes, move, Madam Mayor.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please?
Councillor Tony Chaplin, can you press again, please? Thank you.
That's carried, thank you. Item number 15, minutes of meeting Monday the 25th of April of Audit Committee.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Seconded.
Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 16, minutes of meeting Wednesday the 27th of April, Licensing Committee.
I move the minutes of the Licensing Committee, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 17, minutes of meeting on Wednesday the 27th of April of Planning, Regulatory and Licensing Committee.
I move the minutes of the of the Planning Committee, Madam Mayor.
Seconded, Madam Mayor.
Yes, move, Madam Mayor.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you. Minutes of meeting Monday the 16th of May of Scrutiny, Learning and Skip.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Sorry, item number 19, minutes of meeting Wednesday the 11th of May of Cabinet.
Yes, move, Madam Mayor.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you. Right. Item number 20, minutes of meeting Monday the 16th of May of Scrutiny, Learning and Skip.
Move, Madam Mayor.
Second.
Thank you. Can I put it to the vote, please?
Councillor Moran, please.
That's carried, thank you. Item number 21, minutes of meeting Tuesday the 17th of May of Scrutiny Social Services.
Can I move, Madam Mayor?
Can I put it to the vote, please? That's carried, thank you. So we go on to committee reports. Item number 22, Corporate Plan Annual Delivery Document 2016-17. And I believe is the leader to take this.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, back in June 2013, we agreed the corporate plan for the County Borough of Merthyr Tydfil, and in the plan we set out our priority areas for the 4 years from 2013 through to 2017. This is a very important year as we are now in our final year of the corporate plan, and today we're asking Council to agree its final annual delivery document. In the document we set out what we will do in this year to deliver against the priority areas we set back in 2013. It is our challenge to deliver against these priority areas and to keep on driving improvement for the people of Merthyr Tydfil and indeed the communities that we all serve. There is another difference this year, Madam Mayor, which of course is the introduction of the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act 2015. And the Act means that as we deliver our current corporate plan, we have to look to the long term, work better with local people, our communities and other public bodies to put Merthyr Tydfil in the best position for the future and to create a Wales that we all want to live in now and in the future. Madam Mayor, I don't intend going through the report or the delivery plan in detail. Members will, I'm sure, be fully aware and familiar with it. There are no financial implications with the report, therefore the recommendation is set out in paragraph 2 of the report, and I move that the corporate plan annual delivery document 2016-17 be approved.
I second that, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions, please? Comments? Can I put it to the vote then, please?
Councillor David Jones, Councillor Tony Chaplin, please. Councillor Howard Barrett. Councillor Chaplin. Press again.
That's carried. Thank you very much. Item number 23, changes to members' code of conduct, and I believe it's the deputy leader to take this.
And I just voted yes there, Madam Mayor, so sorry, pressed the wrong button. Page 107, obviously the report is sets out for you. It's a very procedural report following the fact that 2 statutory instruments came into force on the 1st of April. This therefore is now tidying up the Constitution, so the recommendation on 2.1 is that we approve adoption of the revised Model Code of Conduct as attached to Appendix 1, and 2.2 the Council approves amendments to the Constitution to include the revised code. Subject to questions and comments, I move.
Second, Madam Mayor.
Any questions? Comments? Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried. Thank you very much. Item number 24, City Deal update, and it's the leader to take this, please.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, this is an update report in order to further inform Council on the current progress of the Cardiff Capital Region City Deal and to outline the next steps. In addition to the new bodies that need to be established as set out in paragraph 1.2 of the report, 1.3 of the report sets out further operational and procedural matters that need to be addressed. In moving forward, I can advise Council that Sheila Davis, a director from Newport Council, has now been appointed as the programme director, whilst other arrangements in the 3 bullet points are still being worked through. Moving on to paragraph 3.7 of the report, Council will, I know, fully understand the need to continue to move at pace with moving City Deal forward, and consequently it is anticipated that constituent councils will be asked for full sign-off of the deal in January or possibly February of 2017. The financial implications are set out in paragraph 4 of the report, and Council will note that we are being asked to contribute another £20,000 in order to take the deal forward. The recommendations are set out in paragraph 2 of the report, and I move that in 2.1, the contents of the report be noted. 2.2, that the leader of the Council, in consultation with the Chief Executive, be granted delegated power to take such decisions as are appropriate in respect of the Cardiff Capital Region City Deal. And 2.3, a financial contribution of £20,000 from earmarked reserves be approved. Madam Mayor, I'm happy to take questions on the report.
Madam Mayor, in seconding the motion, I just want to refer to the fact that we probably all heard from the First Minister that there is now little appetite for local government reorganisation. They're looking more towards working collaboratively and the rest of it. What more do you want in terms of a demonstration of how authorities can work together than this deal? I'm happy to second the motion.
Thank you. Councillor Jones?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Could I just ask the leader, please, in terms of the £20,000, whether that is reflected in terms of the size of Merthyr or per capita, per rata, whatever?
Thank you for the question, Gareth. Yeah, it's £20,000 is the very thin end of the wedge. We pay far less than everybody else. It's a pro rata contribution.
Any further questions? Comments? Can I put it to the vote then, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Madam Mayor, sure that members will recall that in the meeting of full council on the 20th of April this year, we resolved that as part of the council change management programme income generation project, taxi licensing fees should increase in order for us to move toward cost recovery. The proposed new fee structure is detailed in section 3.3 of this report. A 28-day consultation exercise has been undertaken on the fee increases, and as well as the normal advertising, 229 letters were sent out, one to each of the taxi drivers and proprietors in the county borough, outlining these proposals. As a result of this exercise, a grand total of 7 responses were received, 4 in favour of the proposal and 3 against. So the people have spoken, albeit very quietly. Financial implications outlined in paragraph 4 of the report. Madam Mayor, I move recommendations 2.1 and 2.2 on page 135.
Madam Mayor, I'm pleased to second the motion and see that we're moving on this to cost recovery of the services that we provided.
Thank you. Any questions, please? Comments? Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 26, Merthyr Tydfil Open Space Strategy, and I believe it's Councillor Barry again.
Yes, thank you, Madam Mayor. And again, Madam Mayor, to full council on 24th of February, the draft Merthyr Tydfil Open Space Strategy and its associated action plans were approved for 6 weeks of public consultation. That's now taking place with responses forthcoming from 6 different organisations. All comments are listed in Appendix 1 of the report, along with our response and whether or not any changes have been made to the strategy. Subject to Council's approval tonight, the strategy and action plans will be published and will be used to inform and help interpret the Council's LDP policies, inform the site management of open spaces and act as a mechanism for directing funding to appropriate sites where improvements can be made. But I'd like to thank all the officers involved for their hard work throughout this long and lengthy process, and I'd also like to thank the Open Space champion, Councillor Tony Chaplin, for his enthusiastic input. Madam Mayor, I move recommendations 2.1 on page 142.
Madam Mayor, after that commendation, I'm very happy to second the motion, and once again I would like to thank all those officers who've worked over the past 5 years to bring this to fruition.
Any questions, please? Comments? Can I put it to the vote then, please? That's carried, thank you. Item number 27, Framework for Schools Organisation. I believe it's Harvey taking it.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. If members look at paragraph 1.1, it basically sums up what this is all about. The report proposes a framework for school organisation, and that will form part of the learning strategy. If we then look at 1.3, it talks there of a set of principles that have been developed to identify the important factors that we will take into account in considering all proposals for change. In 1.5 then, it brings it together. The local authority will use the principles and the framework when preparing, publishing, approving and determining school organisation proposals. So it brings in the words school organisation. We'll skip the recommendations for now, and if I can move you over to paragraph 5, when it concentrates on those two words, school organisation. It tells you there what it is and what it isn't. School organisation is one of the means by which the local authority responds to changing circumstances that impact upon its ability to meet its duty to promote high standards and to ensure efficient primary and secondary education. In order for the local authority to make well-informed decision, a set of principles have been developed, which I've just mentioned, that identify the important factors that we take into account when considering any proposals for change. And that includes, where necessary, and you've got this word coming into it again, school reorganisation. If you look on to page 155, it mentions the principles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bullet points. You can see it covers all what this is all about. And then 5.2, I'm going to skip over this because this is Welsh Government guidance, which basically is telling us how to get to grips with the principles and indeed other things within the framework of what we've got to do from here on in, if indeed we accept it. There are 14 bullet points there, so much guidance, if you're not careful you start falling over it. We then come down to the bottom of the page, 5.4, and that takes us into school organisation models. It's okay talking about school organisation. What are we talking about basically in reality? If you turn over to page 156, it talks about sufficient schools, right? Then it gives guidance and a definition of what we mean by sufficient. We'll move on to the next paragraph when it talks about, in order to meet the criteria that we're talking about, local authorities may consider school catchment areas. Then it goes down through the various changes that one can bring about. It talks about new schools and it talks about closure and alternatives. In terms of school catchment areas, a typical example, which you will all be aware of, is the alteration to the catchment area that Cabinet sanctioned this year, which involved Toyn and Candraw primary schools. I'm sure, Linda, you will be well aware of that situation. In 5.5, we go on to the guidance then, which in my view is coming a bit too late for some of the little schools in the rural areas, when it gives guidance on the closure of any type of school. And really, they should have come probably about 15 to 20 years ago, as far as Merthyr is concerned, because most, if not all, of our closures took place over the early periods. But every time you turn the television on now, you get arguments taking place, particularly in the rural areas, and at last the Welsh Assembly has come out now with guidance on how to treat a school that one is thinking of closing. And it goes as far as to say in the rural areas, look, it may be that there's only a couple of pupils there, but if you're talking about other services being provided to the local community, think seriously before you elect to close that school. Now, in addition to that, you've got other things coming into the guidance now, which are termed as alternatives to closure, such as the word clustering, collaboration, and finally, federation with other schools. Now, as far as amalgamation is concerned, really, they're putting an example here of amalgamation of an infant and junior school. Again, they are coming after the horse is bolted, because whatever the guidance says, I know that in Tydfil, we amalgamated many years ago the junior school and the infant school to form a primary school. And I know more recently that Brendan, with his schools in his ward, Brecon Road Infants and one other school, the Gavartha Junior, they amalgamated to form the primary school there. So really, we only wish that we would have had this guidance some time ago. But then we move down to really what this is all about. And this is the new word that has entered school organisation, and that is federation. And can I suggest to members, if they've got time, they take a little bit of time out to read what federations are all about and what they are not all about. Because I believe, personally, that this is the way forward for schools if we are talking and we are serious about improving standards within our schools. The federation is a way by which we can do it. And the final paragraph there of this particular section, 5.5, says that the Welsh Government's policy objective is to promote collaboration between all parts of the education system to improve outcomes. School federation is a more formal way of extending collaboration and promoting, and so it goes on. Paragraph 6 talks about the planning framework, and an example, or the planning framework in its entirety, is contained at Appendix 1 on page 158. I'm not going to go through all those bullet points, but those are the key factors that one would consider when going through the framework that we've just talked about. If I move members back to the recommendations on page 153, I'm prepared to move recommendation 2.1, that we approve the framework for school organisation. As far as recommendation 2.2 is concerned, I don't want members taking much notice of the recommendation that's there at the moment. I'm putting forward another recommendation, and the recommendation is that we delegate powers to the portfolio member for learning to agree with the chief officer learning the process for engagement, a new word that crops up from year on in, the process of engagement in respect of any proposals that may be considered under the framework. And then, if we are happy with that, we move on to recommendation 2.3, which replaces recommendation 2.2 that I told you to forget about. And this recommendation that I'm putting forward says, delegate powers to Cabinet to approve proposals for consultation put forward by the Chief Officer Learning. The reason I put that forward as an alternative, in case we've got Gareth looking at it saying, why the heck is he doing that? And we got Caris looking and saying, why the heck is he doing that? If you read through the recommendation 2.2 as it exists in the report, it says delegate powers to Cabinet to take forward proposals. Cabinet do not take forward the proposals. Therefore, that's why I've said we delegate powers to Cabinet to approve proposals for consultation put forward by the Chief Officer. It's the Chief Officer's role, her responsibility or his responsibility to come forward with proposals for consultation, and the Cabinet then will agree or not agree to those proposals. With that, I move those recommendations and changes, and hopefully Council will approve those recommendations this evening.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm happy to second the proposals the recommendations by Councillor Harvey-Jones. More than happy, obviously, that we've added now the new paragraph 2.2. This is in keeping with the requirements of the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act. Those of us who have actually sat and heard all about it means a major change in process for us, probably from 2017 onwards. But I'd like to see in future that whenever we want to say consultation in any of our recommendations, we actually preface it with the engagement word first. So I think it's essential that from now on in we use that as a yardstick, that we actually engage with the public and the people before we actually go out and consult. I second the motion, Madam Mayor.
Are there any questions, please? Councillor Mitten?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'd just like to ask, with reference to page 157, what the thought process is behind it being a 9-year strategic plan instead of a 5-year strategic plan moving forward. It just seems an odd number to me. Thank you. Yeah, I'll explain myself. You've got a 5-year strategic plan as was, and we now have a 9-year strategic plan. Doesn't seem as impactful to me. Seems a long duration, shall we say.
I think it's tied in, Councillor Mitten, to the Future Generations and Wellbeing Act again, in terms of having longer term strategic thinking. And so the 2025 is in relation to that. I know that there's a sense within that act that we need to be planning for longer term, even beyond 2025 to 2050. At this stage, it was considered appropriate to go to the 2025, so it's a 9-year strategic plan, given that we've got a history of having 5-year strategies.
Any further questions, please? Comments? Councillor Chaplin.
I assume, Madam Mayor, that any proposals that are going to be taken forward will be robustly scrutinised by the appropriate scrutiny committee.
Madam Mayor, can I come back in on that one? Because again, under the requirements of the Act, there will be a change of procedure in terms of the Council's concern. This is going to be post-2017, let's get that right now, because this year is a preparatory year. But from 2017 onwards, there will be an expectation that we actually talk to scrutiny before actually it comes to Cabinet, which we don't do at the moment. So again, it's the whole process of engagement during the process before you actually come to a set of options, which then perhaps you would want to consult upon.
Any further comments, please? Can I put it to the vote then? That's carried, thank you. Other items then, item 28, deal with any other urgent business or correspondence. There is none. Receive communications from Her Worship the Mayor. I have none. So thank you everyone for your contributions. You'll make it in plenty of time for the football. Good night.